All right, Rob Ickes and Trey Hensley here in Studio B. And much as I love talking to you, I love hearing you play even more, probably. So let's do another one, man.
I guess we should do Moonshine Run.
Yeah.
Yes.
One, two, three. About a half a mile down that river road, just across the bridge where the preacher don't go. Field of corn, 6 feet tall, put it in a jar for the first snow falls. Well, that river bridge cuts the town in two, between the common day sinners and the chosen few. Moonlight's pale the first cold night, I make my way over to the other side. Don't let 'em catch you, haul and shine if you know what's best. Or Sunday morning find you in jail with your name on a prayer request. Keep your foot hard on the pedal and your hand close to the gun. Hear me roaring down the valley on a moonshine run. Well, the Lord knows all, even what you hide, but the devil's gonna give you one hell of a ride. The Methodist way makes the Baptist shiver, but you're gonna see 'em both down at the river. Don't let 'em catch you, ball and shine if you know what's best. Or Sunday morning find you in jail with your name on a prayer request. Keep your foot hard on the pedal and your hand close to the gun. Hear me roaring down the valley on a moonshine run. That old river is muddy and deep, and the law won't find what all it keeps. Shotguns, bodies, rusty Chevrolets, they're all at the bottom, and there they'll stay. Don't let 'em catch you, haul and shine if you know what's best. Or Sunday morning find you in jail with your name on a prayer request. Keep your foot hard on the pedal and your hand close to the gun. Hear me roaring down the valley on a moonshine run. Hear me roaring down the valley on a moonshine run.
Hey, that sounded like that Moonshine Runner car right there. Rob Ickes and Trey Hensley live in Studio B. Thanks for playing that, and the requesters out there you go. You just got a live version of it right here.
Hey, awesome.
Excuse me, I don't know what this coughing throat thing is
Time
today.
of year.
Yeah, certainly is. I thought about I played that song for the first time right after we got the record in, and I was looking through some stuff online, and all of a sudden I see this picture of this black, like 62 Plymouth something another, and it had like the Max Wedge V8 in it, and I'm thinking, and I mean, it was blacked out. I'm like, that's a Moonshine Runner right there. Well, anyway,
Yeah,
thanks for that song. You wrote that with Tom Utes.
Yeah, Rob and I wrote that with Tom. I kind of started that one. I had that, like 2 of the verses for, I don't know how long. I've probably had them for a couple years, just in my notes on my phone. And I grew up in East Tennessee, and out in the sticks. And there's always this river bridge, that you would hear tales from one side and tales from the other. And it was just weird how that bridge was like definitely a divide. And it was it didn't, nobody said it, but you just knew it, and you could feel it. And I thought I should write something about that. And it probably may not have been moonshine. I don't know what's over there, but something's
Something
over
illegal.
Something's over there. So, but yeah, it kind of started in a whole different direction. And I think when I started writing with Tom, he was like, "Hey, let's write it about moonshine," And then Rob and I wrote some for it, and I'm proud of that one.
Tom Utes is a good one to collaborate with also.
He's great, man. He and I wrote. I used to live pretty close to him, and so we would write, every week or every couple weeks, just kind of hang out. And he's a great player and singer, and just amazing writer.
He and Tim Stafford, you mentioned earlier, they were both in here together in Studio B not too long ago.
Cool.
And it was a great session. I really enjoyed that. And man, it's just like when you get overwhelmed with these terrific songwriters, all you guys, it's kind of scrambling for a brain as old as mine in a way. But I was looking at, are you, and this is going to sound like a silly question.
Good. I can't wait to hear it.
After, excuse me, all of the real substantive things we've been talking about, you were at one time the most awarded instrumentalist in IBMA awards. Is that still true?
I think so. I haven't counted them this week, but
We get him out of the car, right?
let me go out in the car
and
count them up.
It was a bunch, like 15 or something. It was some crazy number, and not crazy. I mean, you earned them, but I mean, but it was something I didn't know until I was, drilling down on you. Today, man.
Yeah, that's an honor. It is an honor. It's very cool.
Couple of Grammys too, right?
Yes.
2? Or is there more than that now?
Well, I've been on several Grammy-winning albums and been nominated a bunch of times.
Yeah, cool.
I guess. Let me count those up too. I got those in the car.
Yeah.
Well, I know guys like you, that's not your main, your main focus is the music and all, but it's nice to be appreciated and recognized for your work. And
it was funny, not to drop a name, but I was working with Merle Haggard one time.
Yeah.
And something came up about how many number ones, and he said 49. Yeah, he knew exactly. And he said I had like 6 number 2s. And they would have been number 1s, but you had The Gambler was number 1, and it wasn't going to knock that out as some other big songs. But I was surprised how exactly he knew how many number 1s he had.
You didn't take the Hag to be that big of a statistician on stuff like that, right?
No, honestly, I didn't. But he knew exactly how many. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Excuse me. You've worked, he's one of them. You've worked, you mentioned with Alison Krauss and Tony Rice. Just Willie. What did you do with Willie Nelson? Man?
Well, actually, he just did kind of a bluegrass album in January that I played on. So I assume that'll be out in a few months.
Cool.
And then there was a Chris.
We just got his Harlan Hallard album. We're playing that right now. So we got another one in the pipeline.
Yeah, he just keeps pumping them out, man. It's so great. Trey and I have been lucky to work with some of our heroes, Taj Mahal and Jorma Kaukonen and Tommy Emmanuel, to name a few.
Yeah.
But to be around those guys, you realize that it's still all about the music, Like Taj Mahal is just like a musicologist. I mean, he knows so much about bluegrass and old time and the blues and African and Indian music. And so we've learned a lot just from hanging out with people like that. You just kind of go, okay, yeah, it's still all about the music. Or, with those certain artists, some people, maybe it's about being on stage or performing. And those guys love that too. But, it's really about the music, But, I was going to say, Trey and I actually played on a Willie cut together for a Compass Records album that's going to be out next year, I think.
Yeah,
But so we've done a few things with Willie over the years, yeah.
He's, what is he, turning 90 pretty soon? Or has he already?
I believe so.
So I was like, put out as many albums as I can because I still got so much stuff to do.
Yeah, he still sounds great.
He does.
Playing and sounding great.
And I mean, you listen to the recordings from the Budokan album, and then listen to this new Harlan Howard done, I guess, recorded in the last year or so, right?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, it's still Willie.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
still got
always Willie, right?
It's like the Taj with Ry Cooder, that last record, man. That just sounds like a couple of 20-year-old guys. Just the power from that record is as powerful as anything that. As long as those guys are still killing it.
Yeah, Taj is 80 or 81.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he is.
And still in great.
His new record kind of put me on my heels a little bit. It's a really good, not in a bad way.
It's a great record. Man.
And somebody was commenting the other day, and I don't think Tim O'Brien's as old as those guys, but somebody was commenting the other day, he's appeared on a couple of new singles from some other guys, Danny Burns and Corey Walker, and they say, man, Tim Tim's voice just stays so great. He still sounds young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, music keeps you guys young. There you go. See? just keep picking and grinning.
Yes, that's key.
That's right.